It was a night when silence seemed heavier than usual, a silence that carried an unusual stillness in the air. The road stretched endlessly ahead, illuminated only by the faint glow of the vehicle's headlights, which cut through the darkness like two pale lanterns. The trees on either side stood tall and unmoving, their shadows creating patterns that almost seemed to shift with every slight movement of the car. The driver noticed that there were no other vehicles in sight, no distant beams approaching, no taillights fading into the horizon, only an empty road that felt as if it belonged to another world. The hum of the engine became the only companion, steady yet strangely loud against the surrounding quiet. Every mile passed felt longer than the last, and although nothing unusual had happened yet, an unshakable awareness began to settle in, as though the road itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to unfold. As the vehicle moved further along the deserted stretch of road, the silence grew heavier, almost as if the night itself were pressing in from all directions. The trees lining the road seemed to lean closer, their tall forms arching overhead like watchful guardians, casting shifting shadows that appeared to move of their own accord whenever the headlights swept across them. The driver adjusted the rearview mirror more than once, not out of necessity, but because it felt oddly important to check what lay behind, though the mirror revealed nothing more than an endless ribbon of darkness. There was no sound of crickets, no rustle of small animals in the undergrowth, not even the faint whistle of wind across the branches. It was as though the world had been paused, leaving only the traveler to continue in motion. Each glance at the dashboard clock revealed that only a few minutes had passed, yet the journey felt stretched and distorted, as though time itself was moving differently here. The steady hum of the tires on asphalt grew hypnotic, making the driver question whether the silence was external or seeping inward, turning every thought into an echo that refused to fade. The night did not feel empty. It felt watchful, as though something unseen was aware of every mile being covered. The further the road extended, the more it began to feel less like a route to a destination and more like an unbroken loop without end. Every few minutes, the driver would notice landmarks repeating themselves: an old wooden sign, a crooked fence, a cluster of trees shaped like a crescent. At first, it seemed like coincidence, the kind of familiarity that comes from driving along any countryside road where features resemble one another. But as the sequence occurred a third, then a fourth time, the unsettling realization grew that this was not imagination. Each landmark appeared in the exact same order, as though the vehicle were circling through the same stretch of highway without ever progressing forward.